Hey.
We're here.
We're doing
TCCP
it.
19.
Oh, yeah.
What's up?
How's it going?
We're here.
Tori,
What's up?
I think I want to start saying what the show is every show.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
is it warranted?
I mean, just give like a short
All right.
synopsis, but we don't have to like do the whole thesis here.
Oh,
we
no,
don't need
no
to,
whole
like,
thesis. This
We don't.
ain't no-
Yeah, we don't need to give them
Yeah.
like the
We-
whole rundown here.
Yeah, we aren't
Give
the
them
U
a
of
short.
M music school. No, this
yeah.
is if this is your first time listening, welcome and thank you. If you're a
Hi.
returning listener, we love your loyalty.
Thank you.
But yes, this is the Conscious Club podcast, TCCP, as we call it on the streets here. And this is the podcast about Vulfpeck. It's the #1 podcast about Vulfpeck. If you want to start a podcast about Vulfpeck and compete with us, we'll win. We're the game winner here.
Yeah.
So good. Let's compete. I don't know. This is this is the podcast about Vulfpeck and Vulfpeck's ancillary members, and also just random things in the music world and the funk world that happen along the way.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's a podcast about the stuff we love, guys. So
Heck yeah.
this is
Thanks
what we want to bring to you.
joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
This episode is going to be about the Wong man himself.
Wong man.
This episode is entitled Wong's World.
Like that little seventh.
Loved the 7th. Loved
We
it.
brought the whirly in.
Heck
for you
yeah,
guys here.
man.
But yes, this episode this episode episode of TCCP is brought to you by Vulfpeck and ONED Get all your fonts at ONEDtypeco.com. Get all your tickets at Vulfpeck.com. Anyway, but speaking of the ancillary members, Cory Wong, Mr. Wong Man himself,
Mr.
has
Wong
released
Man.
an album this past week entitled motivational music for the
it's-
syncopated soul.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep,
Yes.
yep, 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 yep,
And it's
yep.
the syncopated soul.
The syncopated
Just
soul.
like it's the Conscious Club podcast.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Okay. So, I don't know. I didn't have one bad reaction to this album whatsoever. It
was
calmed
great.
me. It energized me. It
fantastic.
motivated me. And when stuff like this comes out, it's, wow, card full again. Hold on.
It's okay.
We'll continue the convo. Can I not format this thing?
Okay, so why are we here? Why are we talking about Cory? We're talking about Cory because Cory is Mr. Rubber Wrist,
Oh, is
the man with the magical fingers,
Mr. Cartilage himself.
the guy in the striped shirt and the white pants, the ever majestic.
Right.
He's here. He has a new album, and this whole episode's about him.
Yes. It is motivational music for the syncopated soul, and I have to say,
Fantastic.
boy, was I motivated.
He was really motivated.
So motivated. I
Yeah.
mean, I wept. There were tears. I jumped up and down. There's just so much with this record that's such a it's a very coming of age kind of an album.
It is.
It's like from the Optimist, and then you follow up with motivational music
Yeah.
from the syncopated soul. Like, first of all, it's consistent.
It's very.
It's
yeah.
persistent. It perseveres. It
Delivers a message.
delivers a message, reaches farther than itself, and is uniting in nature.
It is.
Much like the Optimist was. But in so many ways, like a jab right hook, right? Where it's like, I got you with the Optimist. You kind of know who I am, know what I'm about.
An intro.
Positivity.
An introduction.
Right. And then, boom, comes knocking at your door
Yeah.
with motivational music for the syncopated soul.
I mean, just
Incredible.
such a great follow-up album. Like, he really pushed himself to just like incorporate new genres, incorporate new musicians,
Yeah.
incorporate like different sounds and influences. And it really was a great follow-up album for him. I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was just fantastic. So many different feels in one album.
The feels were all off the charts.
Yeah.
Yeah. What more can you say about it? I mean, it's well, let's just add some.
Oh.
Yeah. Like from the start,
So
we are getting
so good.
incredible
And can
feels.
I say this guy is freaking out there running shit right now? Like, he's doing MSG, or not MSG, I'm sorry. He's doing
Yeah, he
Red
is.
Rocks
Oh, he's
on his own without Vulfpeck.
Right.
He's opening for people. Like, he's out there with
Yeah.
his own band
Right.
running shit. Like, he doesn't need Vulfpeck. He has his own shit
Right.
going. And like, yeah, Vulfpeck like helps probably
It's a mutual
his
relationship.
recognition and bringing in more fans for him and stuff like that. But like, he's doing so good, like on his own with his own shit too. Like,
Yeah.
it just shows that like we can all accomplish, like we can take our, like, I wouldn't say this is a side hustle because this is what you did first, but like it's kind of like Vulfpeck. Like, you can, like, I don't know what I'm
you
saying.
can stretch it like taffy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It just shows that we can do everything. Like, we can be
We
in
can.
multiple bands. We can do multiple things. We can
can.
balance it. We can grow and really like develop into amazing artists.
right. It's a thing of vision, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he sees all this in himself. He knows it. He knows it to be true.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a whole new world for Cory Wong.
It's a whole new world.
I would definitely want to mention that he would have got this acclaim, be it maybe a couple years of more of a lag had Vulfpeck
Right.
not been in existence. Definitely would have think, just based on, what he's bringing to the table.
He has such immense talent, and
Right.
he's so it just all stands for itself. I don't know
Right.
if that makes sense, but like, when you have that much talent and you're that good of a person, and he's such a genuine person that it just drips off of him. Like, you can tell, like, he's just a good guy,
Right.
like a good family man with good values, and he really just loves music and loves art and wants to make cool things, and like that drips off of him.
Right.
And so that itself, like,
Just
he
dripping.
was going to be somebody regardless of Vulfpeck because of how good of a person he is, and
Right.
like how talented he is. So
And that goes to show why he was even selected to be
Right.
in Vulfpeck in the first place, right? It's like like Bruno Mars, he'd be dripping in that finesse, and it just seems like he's in a rung in himself. Like, he is a style. He
definitely is,
He
yeah.
is a mindset. He is a beacon, for guitarists, and takes, like, I don't know, like, in guitar gets, or like funk guitar or ostinato, I think as it is referred to in the guitar world, where it's the very monotonous in it's not, you're not doing solos all the time, right? You're doing the like,
you're giving the flair,
It's
the style,
right. It's virtually boring because you're playing the same chords over and over again with different rhythms. But had you not been on the track,
it wouldn't be the track.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
100%.
So Cory gives a whole frontman element to that style of guitar, which is really hard to do.
Right.
Like, nobody has really tried to, be a star for that in
Right.
terms of like getting the spotlight, being the front. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Ostinato's
Maybe
just
like
off the
David T.
side.
Walker, I feel like, kind of has his own like little thing.
Right.
That's, like, very him.
Oh, definitely. Just tickling those
Yeah,
those
it has
frets.
that pinky little diddle.
Yeah, it's got
Got that pinky action.
pinky.
Got that pinky action. So I kind of wanted to do a deep dive here on Mr. Cory because
Deep dive.
it's a deep dive. Oh,
the
that wasn't a
Country's
key.
Club
Podcast.
Yeah, sorry.
So I wanted to do some deep dive digging. That was a lot of D's.
Dive. digging
deep dive digging
here on Triple D
into
TCCP.
Mr. Cory Wong, because I am always interested on how people meet and how people build connections and how these groups form.
Right.
And so for me, it was important for me to go back into the beginning of let's say the birth of this ancillary member in Vulfpeck. So how did he meet?
Lay it on me.
Vulfpeck. Okay, well, here we go. So, let's start from the beginning. Cory Wong. He was actually born in New York, but raised in Minnesota. He attended music school in St. Paul, Minnesota, and he played in jazz clubs in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And he was a producer, arranger, a touring band member. He worked in a bunch of different bands, in quartets, quintets, et cetera, et cetera. He worked on different albums. And then around this time where he was playing in a bunch of groups and stuff in Minneapolis, I apologize, in St. Paul.
Same shit. I'm just kidding.
He met Vulfpeck's Jack Stratton, Theo Katzman, and Joe Dart and Woody Goss at a house show in Minneapolis. So they met in Minneapolis. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It had nothing to do with Michigan.
So, right.
Zero.
Nothing to do with Michigan. Yeah. It just happened to, be in the Midwest, and baby Vulfpeck, so like fetus Vulfpeck,
the core four,
went to play in Minneapolis and became fast friends and started playing together live before Wong even joined them in the studio for Vulfpeck's second LP in 2016, The Beautiful Game. So kind of like they had this friendship probably over music and, et cetera, and he ended up joining in a way and coming on the second record.
Wait, so just for the record, I'm not an expert of anything by any means, but LP is an album and EP is not an album.
Correct.
Okay.
From what I know.
So is LP what is like the standard term for what an album is?
For Vulfpeck,
long play, right?
For Vulfpeck, LP is 10 songs. That's their standard.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then EP could be 6.
EP is usually
Okay. Yeah. I knew, Interesting. LP, EP, full length album, LP, shorter thing, EP.
Yeah. And actually, believe it or not, at the same time when Beautiful Game is being recorded and released, Cory released his first solo EP. And then
MSP1, part one. I remember that. Love that track. Dope track.
Yeah.
Solid track. Great track.
Whoa, that was, let's just say Indy's off. We're off our diet. So I apologize if there's any gas, any kind of sounds, flatulence, burps, any gaseous noises you hear. I highly apologize. We're off our whole food plant-based diet for this weekend.
Whoa.
We went to Tiki Oasis.
We did go to Tiki Oasis 2019, which is, if you don't know about it, which you probably don't, Google it. It's pretty cool.
We were able to go to Whole Foods for one night, but we did do a little cheating on our lifestyle.
It's fine. As long as you get back on track, we're
fine.
We are.
We got back on it tonight. So
yeah, I got my seltzer water. We're good.
So basically, he met them, and from there, his musical career started to, really take off at the same time as Vulfpeck. His solo stuff kind of held the same trajectory almost,
right?
Which is really cool.
He seems like I wonder why. Pardon. I wonder why that the whole core 4 ancillary part of it is a factor in this. Is it feared that Cory would be a more spotlight holder, or not necessarily out for the spotlight, but he does have Jack isms, but he's very muted in Vulfpeck shows.
Yeah,
he knows his place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, And I don't think that this is something that's imposed on him by anyone in the group or by anyone at all. I think this is kind of out of respect for Jack, because this is Jack's baby. And Cory has the outlet to be the main character, to be the main ham, and with his own side projects. So he doesn't feel it necessary to, take over, but he does have fun in his own ways at the same time, like going into the crowd and really hamming it up. Like he still does to a certain extent, but
it's a great point, because we did bring that up in a prior episode where he was playing with Charlie Hunter and was going over, when we're playing with each other or any other really, musician in general, it doesn't even have to be pro musician, but it's, if, the people who want the spotlight are usually the people in the room you're most likely to not hang out with. Right. Because it's just the innate, like, me about it, and it seems like it's a natural thing for him where it's like, this isn't my gig. My greatest strengths are being utilized here. It's not, me speaking into a mic with a
right.
So, but there's a time and place for that, and people will pay to go see that. So 100%. It's like the fact that, it's really weird because, like, knowing his music and how he performs on stage and then seeing how muted he is at a Vulfpeck show goes to show, it's like, I really believe that that's not told to him. It's easy to go like, oh, this guy just respects what's happening, knows what's going on, knows his place, not in a bad way, but like, know your place, you fuck. No, but like, it's literally like, no, there's a time and place for me having the spotlight and me being an ancillary, secondary to
100%. And I really enjoy this question because it actually leads me to the next thing that I wanted to.
We have segues on the show.
Segues. Whoop whoop. So there was this Q&A that was done in February of 2019 on a website called WNUR.org.
WNUR.
This Q&A was done by Ethan Shanfeld. I hope I said your name correctly. February 2019. So there was this really cool Q&A that was done, and it kind of is in the same vein of the last thing we were talking about. But Ethan asks Cory, do you notice significant differences in terms of stage dynamics or even crowd dynamics when playing solo with Vulfpeck, Fearless Flyers, or any other project that you've been involved with? And this is Cory's response. Fortunately, they're all pretty similar crowds. The main difference is how big the crowd is. The second difference is whether Antoine Stanley is on stage. Laughs. For whatever reason, when he's on stage, the place is just hype, and he is such an insane hype guy. It's incredible. So with Vulfpeck, obviously the scale to which the crowds is so much larger than what I'm doing with my solo thing, but that's fine. And my solo thing will continue to grow, and that's great. But the crowds are very similar.
Right. Wow, Cory Wong. Could he be more like of a floating guru?
I know.
He's sitting like, crisscross on the floor, and he's just floating with his hands perched. Like a praying mantis, No, that's definitely, it's also a good note to it. They're very similar crowds. Yeah. 100%. Like, it's, not to any detriment. It's just, it's what it is, y'all. It's a niche. Ride that niche.
100%. So this is another interesting question he asked. He said, how do you name an instrumental song? And Cory says, that's the hardest part about music for me. It comes from all over the place, but it is the hardest thing for me to do. It will take me less time to write, record, produce, and mix an instrumental song than it will for me to name it. Although I've got a buddy who got the gift of naming things. He's got a certain type of synesthesia where he'll hear things and visualize them. It helps him name things. I've thought about putting him on retainer and having him just name things in my life.
Yeah. That's now how good a guitar do you have to be where that's the hardest thing about music?
I know.
It ain't the music that's hard. That fucking comes easy. I'm here to sell you product.
And that kind of reminds me of you in a lot of ways, because
oh, thank you.
Like this thing about the naming things, because I feel like we have the idea or like the you have a thought and an idea and like you're so slow to name it. Like for me, like I just jump to whatever like the first thing that I really clicks with me. For you, like you have to sit on the name for like at least a month or two.
No. In some regards. In some regards. No, because the name of this con. This con is not a con.
I repeat, this is not a con.
Hey, this is not a con.
We're conning. We're scheming. We're planning. We're thieving.
We're bringing podcast to platforms here. Okay?
iHeartMedia, you better watch your ass because we're coming.
No, but I have a little element of that, definitely. Because, I have a project in my Todoist, my task management software. There's a little folder in there that whenever I think of a funny name for a song to produce, I put it in there, even though I have no song for it yet. So, and I have, a couple hundred of those. So I feel like
that's true.
So I have a bank of it. But like when it comes to this podcast, that's why I said con, because Conscious Club. I was thinking like con. It was the first name that I came up with.
True.
And I was like, it's called this. I wasn't even like, well, do you think people shouldn't be called Vulfcast? And I'm like, no. I was just like, Conscious Club. Yeah,
well,
it'll
it's
work.
the perfect name.
Also, right around that time, I was listening to some productivity podcasts and stuff that kind of went over. It's like, it doesn't matter what your product is named as long as there's value associated with it. Like Coca-Cola is a weird fucking name. It's just like, it's just everywhere and has that notoriety to it. Pepsi, what, you know what I mean? Like all these, like it's Vulf, like all these words conceivably wouldn't have worked, but like all the value that is associated with it comes along with what it is. So it could be called anything. It could be called Seltzer, a podcast about Vulfpeck. And that's because I just looked at the bottle and said Seltzer. Can. But you know what I mean? It's I felt that this podcast would have intrinsic value associated with it because everybody in this niche, in this rut,
has heard Conscious Club.
And it just worked. So I was whatever.
Yeah.
So I think I'm getting farther away from that. Having, because I think sitting on an idea before executing on it is probably worse than just executing on it and adjusting. So that's what we do, you know. Yeah.
100%.
But thank you for the Cory Wong illusion or the comparison. Yeah.
And it just shows shows too, like no matter how talented somebody is, like Cory, for example, we all struggle with some aspect of our work. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't all come naturally in every aspect to us. Right.
Yeah.
Or to people.
I just love that the hardest thing to do isn't even the music.
Yeah.
That's just how good of a like. It's just it's just going like it comes easy. The non-music parts are what make my music hard to make.
Yeah.
Love that sentiment. What else we got?
Yeah, so the next thing is he asked him, this is just a fun, quick question. If you could work with any artist dead or alive, who would it be? And he said, the Beatles. Yep. That's pretty like a standard goodie.
Yeah. Well, he also, he seems, he how do I put this? He strikes me as a man who sets the highest goals for himself. You know what I mean? And that's basically the highest goal you could have.
Oh, 100%.
Like, had you, put us, like, if everything was going on right now and it's 30 years ago, 40 years ago, yeah. Like, being on a track with those people, you'd still be iconic today. You know what I mean? It's the epitome. It's the top. Right. And it's also, like, having that goal 30 or 40 years ago, people would laugh at you. Right. You know what I mean? But those are the best kind of goals to have. Yeah. You know what I mean?
100%.
Another productivity podcast I was listening to where he's like, if you set your goal to make $1 billion in this life and you only make 400 million, you were still successful. Not necessarily in that goal, but look at all the value and wealth you generated. And that's just in a monetary sense. But think about all the other aspects of your life where that could be, attributed. I want a whole conglomerate of podcast networks and social media video production and all these things. I want my own BuzzFeed. And in case I just make a smaller boutique video production podcast and thing, hey, I'm still in the business. You know what I mean?
This reminds me of a saying that I really enjoy, and it's, if you shoot for the moon and you miss, you still land among the stars. and that's similar to that. It's like,
yeah,
you know, you shoot for the moon for that $2 billion.
Right.
And even
right.
if you don't hit 2 billion, you're still a millionaire. Like you still have so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just have to
like
have big dreams.
You're limiting yourself by giving yourself limited goals.
Right.
If your goal is to make $50,000 a year,
then you're only going to make 30
then you're going to hit
grand.
that pretty quick, you know?
Or you're only going to make 30 grand.
Right.
You're not even going to make 50 because
Right.
that's all you see for yourself.
Right. Because we are very quick to downplay our potential in this life.
Oh yeah.
We always say success. Oh, that's for somebody else. The person in that nice car over there who earned all that and got everything that they're up on stage doing it. They're making money. They're doing all these things. That's for some. That's for some. Yeah, that couldn't be me. That's for somebody else. It's like, no, it's within you, and you can do it. All you got to do is just put in the damn work and do what you love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I know it's a cliche to say, but hey, I love podcasting. I want to be a podcaster. You want to be in this space, an artist, podcaster. You know, jack of all trades, master of all of them too. And you won't get there unless you have a back catalog, have a something under your belt, so that people attribute that value that you see in yourself.
Right.
So we'll get there. I remember, like, when I told my family,
oh yeah,
like when I told my uncle and aunt that we were doing podcasts, and they just like smirk their head and go, okay, whatever. I'm like, that's exactly why I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm. People
You know what I
don't
mean?
get it.
Yeah. Because they're like, oh, yeah, you think you're going to succeed in that? I'm like, yeah, I do. And that's what, remember when I said, like, maybe I'll have a couple houses in 10 or 20 years. And they're like, 10 or 20. And I'm like, yeah, that's how long it takes.
Yeah.
Like, we're on 18 right now. You think we're going to get $1 million contract with
100%.
selling ads with 18
100%.
episodes and no listeners? It's just like, it's the cumulative factor. And I know we're getting outside of Vulf here, but I think this is along the same lines of how Jack thinks, how Cory thinks, how basically a lot of the people that they surround themselves think. And it's funny how this is the shortest question with the shortest answer, and it has brought on the most enticing conversation so far. And it's very simple. Shoot for the top. You'll get farther than you think. And you might even fucking get your goal done. You never know.
Oh, yeah.
You could make Uber. You know, it's literally just an app. You just get a couple. You know what I mean? Like they own no taxis.
Right. Just get a couple nerds and
a couple servers. Get shit set up. And if you like podcasting, do that. If you like reading, write a book. You know, like do what you love, yo.
Hell yeah.
We haven't even made it, and we're acting on this high horse as if we did. I love that. Anyway, more Vulf. What we got here?
More Vulf. So this brought up a point that I didn't even know about Cory, was that he's very popular in Peru apparently. And are there any noticeable differences between performing in South America versus playing in the States? And he said, I've not been to Peru for a while, but the audiences in South America are generally more attentive audiences to musical nuance. The way that some other cultures respond to musical nuance is very different than in the United States. In the US, I know what gets the crowd to go wild: the loud, the fast, the high, the super exciting. In Europe and in South America, that stuff gets them excited, but also they'll respond the same way to a very musically nuanced thing.
So you can almost take a break from that when you leave the States.
Which is nice, yeah.
Yeah, you know, you can recharge your batteries a little bit. And also, like, for a profound musician like our man Wong here, that's probably nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably, I don't have to
over the top all the time.
Right. Like the competition that exists here just we don't have any attention spans here.
Yeah.
It's literally consume. Next thing. and that's not the case everywhere. So that's actually pretty. Never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
How it's like we're so primed and conditioned to be that way here.
Yeah.
Where it's like that's why we probably look bad in a lot of other countries.
100%.
Because we're always, it's just the next thing.
100%. So the next thing is, this is kind of a cute one. What's the most useful touring tip that you've learned while on the road? He said, you never need as many clothes as you think you do. You'll find a way to do laundry. You also got to eat clean. It'll help you feel better and healthier. Life will be easier for you if your body is working properly.
Oh, and just, getting back from a trip today.
Yeah.
Going down to San Diego, it's so easy to not eat clean. It's so easy. Even though we tried and we went to Whole Foods, we got a nice salad. I mean, you didn't, but I did. But no, that is true. How come like, I know maybe it's like the vacation mindset. You know what I mean? Where you're like, I deserve something because I'm not at home. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's like I definitely feel that way, but like also if you just ate regularly too, you'd feel just as good.
Yeah, I agree.
From eating good as you did from the pre-feeling of feeling good before you eat the bad shit that makes you fucking sleep all day. You know? Anyway. That's good. And also like I love the health element
Both
to
him and Jack,
Vulf and ancillary members. There's really no person in Vulfpeck really that doesn't subscribe to this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the person you really don't hear about it with is Joe Dart. But Theo is
Joe's quiet in general, so I'm not surprised.
Right. That's why I would marry him, right? In that quiz. IGF
He's
quiz.
quiet.
Yeah, he's quiet. It'd be a great marriage.
Yeah. Love that. Okay.
Anyway.
So another quick, cute question was, where do you think you'd be without music? And he said, I'd probably be doing something in architecture.
Oh, like our man Weird Al.
Yeah, we had a really good drafting program at my high school. And in 10th grade, I basically finished the whole program. So I got a job with an architect as a drafter, drawing all the blueprints and everything. I did all the residential projects. I could see him in architecture, like just the way he is.
I'm surprised it's not more laced in his music. Or maybe it is.
Well, just think about how technical he is and how the precision. That's architecture.
So he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you think he'd be like, the floor beams are so steadily. If you look at the A-frame, boy, I'm coming to you with...
I don't know how to play music, so...
Yeah, you do.
I do, just not piano for sure. So...
We'll do a medley at the end. Don't worry.
So I want to get into...
I love how the suggested ads are for the Mall of America because we're watching
Oh my God,
Minnesota. Yeah, here.
Love it. I'm trying to think what it was in this that I wanted to talk about.
What in this MinnesotaMonthly.com? Cory Wong Q&A?
Okay, so there's this one thing that I want to talk about in this Q&A. So the title of this one is Q&A, Cory Wong is Here to Stay. And this one came out really recently, August 7th, 2019 by Mimi Geller. And there's this one at the very end that I really want to talk about. And it says, can you explain the reason for the name of the album, Motivational Music for the Syncopated Soul? What messages are you trying to convey? And he said, it's a funny and cheeky thing. My music is very rhythmic, very syncopated, but there's also this fun, borderline cheesy motivational element to it. It's about finding your calling.
Yes.
If I never gave it 100% and just gone for music, my life trajectory would be much different. I could have a great life, but it wouldn't necessarily be the life that I was really called to do. For me as a guitar player, I'm known as a rhythm guitar hero instead of a lead guitar hero. Although I can do that role. I feel like I give the most compelling... I know.
Love that.
Love that.
I can do that too, guys. This is a choice.
I feel like I give the most compelling representation of what I want to say, though, through the music I play. It's not necessarily the norm for the rhythm guitar to be the lead, but I found a way to do that. And it's an underdog album.
I'm so glad when points I make earlier in the podcast show up as confirmed.
Right?
From a quote from him.
100%.
Great. I feel like we're on the right track here with this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
this is our calling.
So I really thought that you'd like that.
Yeah.
And I thought this was cute too. It just talks about his childhood. Just for our last Q&A thing here. Describe your upbringing. How did music play a role in your childhood? He said, I grew up in Fridley, Minnesota, and I grew up in a computer family, I guess. I've never said that out loud. It's funny to think about. But there was a lot of computers and technology in the house. But I was always fascinated by music. My dad had records in the house, and he was a huge music fan. A lot of times when people meet my dad, they're surprised he's not a musician, just because he knows so much about music. I started playing music in a punk rock band when I was in 7th grade. That reminded me of you.
Same.
Because you were in
Crash
one too.
Kids.
Crash
They're
Kids.
going to be on Apple Music and Spotify soon. That was a project that I stopped doing. But I just realized it's a project that I stopped doing. But I'll put that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was obsessed
Crazy.
with the bands like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Green Day, Blink 182. So yeah, that really reminded me of you.
I mean, who really... There's a phase. You have your classic
100%.
rock phase. You have your Led Zeppelin, Beatles phase.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you have your new age classic rock phase.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
I love how that... we lived through music that is now kind of classic.
I know, right?
in a
Which is
weird way.
frightening
I
to
know.
me, but we're oldie, I guess, now. So this gets me to current happenings on the Cory music website. So if you haven't been on Cory's website, it is corywongmusic.com, and it's all done up really nicely right now for his new album. And I wanna go back to something we talked about on last week's podcast, and that was merch. And that was,
yes.
Cory Wong bringing it in regards to merch compared to Vulfpeck? Because I have done the comparison.
Oh.
And I am telling you that this man is bringing products to market because you see this right here.
Right.
This is not the extent, mama. Go to store.
Oh, that's his pre-order
Go to store and look at this guy here. He has sales. He has things going on. He has shirts. He has a hoodie.
Right.
Vulfpeck, step up your merch game because Cory Wong is bringing products to market.
True creative self. But I'm here to tell you, if you're looking to maximize
Yes.
your creative potential,
Yes.
we're going to have to face the fears and mental roadblocks that you've allowed to take priority in your mind.
You've allowed to take priority in your mind. It is all a choice, guys.
It really
is
is.
all a choice. Jack, we're looking at you. It's so funny how innately different they are on the spectrum of these types of people, Jack and Cory. But they're on the same road, like we were talking about with Justin. You're driving on the northbound train or on the northbound freeway, but there's cars weaving in between each other trying to get to the next stop.
Right.
That's But then you got the guy in the VW Bug going 65. That's Jack. But then you got Cory Wong fucking moving through the lanes here.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's so funny in the innate difference in their website stores. Cory Wong's pre-sale store has more products than Vulfpeck at the moment.
Oh, and can I also say too,
What's up?
this guy, he has already sold out his why can't I move the mouse?
It's above.
Huh? Did it die?
Yeah.
Technical difficulties here on the Country's Club podcast. Okay.
Whoa.
So, I wanted to show that Cory's newest album has already sold out. It's limited pressing. I wanted to show that.
Awesome. That's incredible.
So,
and it's not through Q rates?
not through Q rates. And this brings me to a very important discussion, which is Cory's vinyl game stronger as well than Vulfpeck's?
Stronger?
Because look at this. I have to show you something. So here's Vulf, right?
Right.
We know this. Here's Vulf. Q rates. You're breaking my balls. posted by
my
Tom
God.
on the
I'm
Vulf
so glad
Pack.
this is a recurring thing on the show.
Okay.
The Q rates memes. Yes. More Q rates.
John, what's the process to get in touch with Q Rates? My Fearless Fires 2 album has arrived completely destroyed.
Why do another thing too? It's like, why do people ask that question to the pack? Isn't that very easy to find out how to get in touch
Yeah,
with
just
them?
go online.
Don't you see the email receipt that you get and it says customer service? Click here,
Right?
guys. Come on, this is basically an internet only niche. Asking that question is like asking, is my kid tall enough to ride this? Well, does he line up to the line? No. Well, then there's your answer, you fuck. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's late Sunday night here.
So then this is in comparison with the goodest boy, Cory Wong. And here is Cory. That was quick. Thanks, Cory.
Oh.
Daniel Peterson. Arriving in perfect mint condition. Adam. Clever eye will spot the double wongage. So his stuff is arriving perfect condition.
Right.
No, not a dent.
Not a dent. Also, along the same lines of, I love that. Along the same lines of Cory Wong and his motivational, his productivity shtick that he has. He's basically a Tony Robbins in his own way.
100%.
Much like Jack is the seller to us, But I think what is happening, controversial statements here on the Conscious Club podcast, is he is learning what Jack
From
is doing
Jack's
wrong.
mistakes.
Yes.
Agreed.
And I don't know, we're probably, I don't know. We don't know if he's making mistakes. Maybe it's all by design, and we'll be the idiots for even saying this 10 years from now. But I think he's going, well, I don't want people going, man. I want people to hear my music, not see a destroyed product in the mail. Because I think, to be honest, I don't know why Q Rates is being used so much when Jack is such a audiophile, a connoisseur of sorts. It's almost as if he just sends a WAV file to Q Rates, and don't they press it? Does he press it and they send Isn't it very automated? Right? So it's there's no quality control there.
Yeah.
It's just selling a product, which to me, Cory seems like he's taking with more not seriousness, but it just seems like
Hands-on.
Jack's
It's more
kind
hands-on.
of complacent in that way, where it's like, yeah, Q Rates is our distro, deal with it.
Even though they literally, your shit shows up and it's bent, broken, wet, destroyed.
Right.
A pile of rubble, basically.
Right. And then you get your album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cory's way more connected to the process. And I remember back in the day when, I don't know, probably his last album or whatever that came out.
Optimist.
He had videos of his little girls in his family room packing the boxes.
Oh, I remember seeing those. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, you want to know something crazy too? Is Cory Wong is so involved with his vinyl and stuff like that because somebody went on the Vulfpeck, and said that he reached out to their customer service for a question or something, right? It was Cory Wong's personal Gmail account, and Cory responded within less than 24 hours.
Grass fucking roots. Also, that's how you create value, guys. That's how you create value.
Yeah.
As if I've created any.
Cory emailed him back personally, to answer his question.
That's Cory being Cory.
Yeah.
Oh, show.
So that just shows how hands-on he is. It's a family thing for him. His kids were helping send him. He seems really involved with it. So I think that's going to making me
It's grassroots. It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's the love of it, and I would want a product that that I knew came from their loving hands.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I mean, listen, I love Vulfpeck, but at this point, from what I've seen, all the proof and the receipts and everything that I've seen online on the pack, especially, I would be ordering from Cory.
Oh,
1,000%.
shots fired here.
I'd be ordering from Cory way more before I'd be ordering any vinyl from Vulfpeck because I don't want my shit to arrive broken and destroyed by
Right.
Q rates.
Right.
Hell no.
You are 100% correct on that.
I'm getting my shit from Cory first
Yeah.
because it's going to arrive tender love and care, wrapped with a bow.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And, it's, I would much rather go to Amoeba to see if I can find Vulfpeck
Sure,
before I would even buy it from Q rates.
Right.
Yeah. These fucks. I don't know what the fuck's going on in that head of yours.
And
I
I've
know the
called
music
them-
is, but.
I've literally called them out so many times on social media. Not a thing.
Right. Well, that's
weird to me.
No, it's by design. They don't reply back by design. Like it's.
But here's the thing, though.
That's what makes Jack so notorious.
Any successful business always, if there's anything on Twitter, Instagram, anything
Right.
that makes them look bad or that puts them on blast, they usually reach out with their customer service.
You struck a chord in me just now.
Oh.
Struck a chord. Okay.
Okay.
So, Jack is the cable company when you call them up, and Cory Wong is like, I don't have a good comparison, but like a company with great customer service.
Okay, like who has good customer service?
don't
It's
know.
hard these days out in these
I
streets.
don't know,
Would you say Apple? I mean, I know.
yeah. I mean, well, yes. I would go Apple.
Okay.
Cory Wong's Apple, and Jack Stratton is like
I mean, Disney.
AT&T.
Also, Disney
Right.
is like the top of customer service.
Hey, there we go.
So that's a great example.
I'd much rather work with Cory's customer service team, aka himself, than anything. Card full again? God damn it!
For fuck's sake.
This is what we do here.
On the Conscious Club podcast, we're fucking talk about grassroots.
I know.
Talk about no roots.
It's fucking dick root over here.
So, I want to talk about. I did a deep dive on Cory's Instagram, and that's where I'm getting my funny funk for this week.
Let's do it.
Can we pause the
Yep. Pause button.
La Musica? Oh, sorry, I'm not good with technology. Why am I running
pause
this
button?
ish?
Oh, is he drunk?
Hey, what am I doing wrong? I don't know. Press it once.
I don't know what's happening in this video. All I know is that he's like,
What am I doing wrong?
Is that a Carolina No, Tennessee.
Press it once.
Is that Tennessee?
I don't know. It's Cory Wong at some football game and like I don't know where in 2016.
I love
and
how
he's just
Joey-
being weird and awkward.
Joey commented, "Come on, bro." Is that the Tennessee Titans?
I
What is
honestly
that?
could not.
That
tell
says
you.
Hey,
maybe it's college.
what am I doing wrong?
It could be.
Yeah.
All I know is that he was being a weirdo, and I lived for it. Next up, it's another Cory vid.
Shredding the gnar.
Oh no.
And I thought
This
you'd
is
love
where he
this
breaks
because
his
you were
wrist.
a little skateboarder guy too.
Yeah. You know, it's dangerous for a guy like this to skateboard.
I know.
Really. He could break his fucking
Shred the
wrist and no
gnar.
more cartilage.
I know.
Shred the gnar. He just does this one shot and has his friend like dress like
100%.
him and do the rest.
He said, "I feel 16 again." Hashtag skateboarding.
Wow.
I know. I thought you'd love that one.
I-
'cause you
I
were a
do
little
love that.
skateboarder guy. I loved this one too. This is our boy Cory on a Segway.
Segway squad coming in.
So slow.
Love this. Sir, could you please get off the Segway?
I love
Mr.
this.
Wong, we need you at sound check.
Squad coming in.
I love the cut.
I know.
on
I
that.
love the cut on that.
Coming.
And it's just hashtag Segway for this post. This was in
that.
2015.
Oh, that's pre everything, huh?
Yeah. And then this is a post by Mr. Cory too. It's just a random post.
Oh.
Because it's frozen over and that's his actual thing.
Oh. He left his window open all night?
No, basically what happens is in winter. I have to explain this because, oh yeah, card full. Yeah, we
No, we're
already knew
filming.
that. So in the winter in Michigan or like anywhere,
Midwest.
Minnesota, for example,
Yeah.
everything will ice over completely. So you can turn down the window and the ice sheet will still be up and you can hit it. Yeah, so that's what he's doing.
really
You see the
cool.
car window right
I see
there?
it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, no wonder.
Yeah. So and then we have
I'm from California, so we are very. Well, some parts of California
There's-
can experience that.
also in Funny Funk, there's this video that somehow I've never seen before, but I've seen the memes from it in the pack.
Yeah.
But this is the actual video.
Let's go.
Or no, wrong one. I
wow.
highly apologize.
Nice rundown.
Hey, be nice. This is from Twitter. I've never seen this video.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah.
But his face is insane. It's so creepy. It literally looks like it's CG. Like it's like not even a real person.
This is where Jack found out
Yeah.
about his. He's like, oh, he'd be really good on camera. Wow.
It's so crazy.
Oh. Love Joey just clapping in the background.
Love.
Love how like everybody's in stripes.
Not even a human. Neck is straight, just ostrich or something. I don't know what it is.
Love this. And he's convulsing. This guy.
Literally convulsing. You at Tiki Oasis when you were like vibrating.
Yes.
He was like doing this weird dance move where he was like vibrating his little cheeks. Anyways, we just have a couple more pictures to round this out. This is Cory Wong on tour, ironing a shirt that he's like literally already has one of. Thought that was cute.
Love that.
Also, this I showed you previously, but this is my fiance replaced my picture on her bedside table with this. Should I be worried? And it's a picture of Cory Wong
Wow.
signed.
Right next to the fucking
The
the
lotion.
lotion. Damn.
Hell yeah.
They are prepped.
And then these are baby pictures of Cory as a kid.
Aww.
And
Music
I just thought
school Cory.
these were really funny. So these are our last.
That's him
images of
too?
The podcast. Yeah.
Oh, this
these are
isn't
both
Funny
him.
Funk? That kind of
Yeah.
looks like John Lennon.
This is Funny
Yeah,
Funk.
like the
Yeah.
guy on the bottom here. Wow.
This is our boy Cory. I found these in the Google verse from a long time ago.
Wow.
And I thought that these were funny.
And he could have been a, you
just
know.
a kid. This guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's enticing.
I know, right? So yeah, that's it. This is
Wow.
this is the Wong's World podcast. And thank you guys so much for joining us this week for a short and sweet episode.
Short and sweet, but we get to the points. Hard hitting.
We really appreciate you, and if you made it this far,
wow.
you are a true fan.
I love all of you.
Yeah, we love you all, and thank you so much for listening. And yeah,
Let me see if I can do this here.
what are you gonna do, bub?
Barely. It's going to move. Barely anything. All right, everybody, thank you for listening, and we are going to take you out.
so much for joining us this week, and yeah, see you on the next one.
Yeah, well, I do want to play a little ditty for them.
Oh, okay, feel free.
Can I play a ditty?
Hell yeah, you can play Diddy.
Can you join in
Absolutely.
with a ditty? All right.
Thank you guys so much.
We hope to record
oh yeah. So we are going to round this out with a quick little ditty for you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
We love you. We love.
failing majorly.
What if I taught you it?
Okay.
Yeah. So chromatic from F. So go up that. So, and then B flat. So start with your thumb and your So it's F, F sharp, G, B flat, E flat. All right.
I can't learn this right now. I'm too TT.
Yeah.
Can you teach me something similar?
No.
Here, let's just make up a song to take them out.
Okay.
We're a failure tonight.
We are a failure. So it's a.
I like it better when it's just you playing.
You don't like it?
No, I like it better when it's just you playing and not me. Because I can just enjoy it and I love it.
I saw.
No, you don't. Thank you guys.
I'm probably gonna cut that out.
That's fine.
Maybe.
You can cut it out if you
Who
want to.
gives a fuck? Nobody cares.
We do.
Number 19.
Thank you guys for watching.
Phoning it in. Good night.
As always.
Hey everybody, Indy here, and thanks for watching the Conscious Club podcast. Please be advised that this is a fan-made podcast. Even though we would love nothing more, we are not associated with Vulfpeck, Vulf Records LLC, Vulf Productions Inc, or any associated acts tied to the greater Vulf umbrella. We do this show out of love, not for monetary gain. We simply wanted an outlet like this to exist, so we made it happen, and I hope that's okay. Thanks for watching, and always remember, fee fi fo fum.